Good morning. Good morning. What's happening, family? Welcome to the show. It is
What's
Michelle.
happening, little dude?
It is Michelle Bryant here at WNOV 860 AM, 106.5 FM. You are listening to Say Something Real. And yes, for those of you who are like, what's wrong with her voice? It's gone. It walked away yesterday while I was in the middle of a meeting, and it has not come back. I have done hot this, hot that, lounges, all the stuff. I've done all the things, and I'm dying. So I'm just telling y'all right now. I know this must be hard to listen to, but it was either that or not come to work. Um,
We appreciate you coming in and your
whatever,
level of
whatever.
dedication shown.
Um,
And then we got Ray
so
behind the board. Look at Ray.
I just looked over and saw Jermaine. Why you got shades on?
Hey,
Why you got shades on in the building?
Well, you want to know why I got on
You
shades?
doing the DJ, I guess.
No,
No sun, insight, nowhere.
Why do you have shades on
I'm
in the
about
building?
to tell you why I got on shades. This is why I got on shades. Today is Wednesday. And well, woman, I'm feeling real Billy D. Williams.
You don't look it.
Yeah.
You don't sound it.
I feel
So
real. You know how Debo said he felt like a sex symbol, but he's really a symbol. I feel like the sex.
I remember
pot.
the conversation.
Yeah, I feel like the sex pot on this.
You know what? It's way too early in the morning. It's way. Catch me in the 8 o'clock hour.
You know, I start off early.
I'm just saying, through these shades on. I mean,
Well, you know,
you got your black outfit on. You got a funeral today. What you got to do today?
Funeral.
I'm a professional mourner.
He got his uniform on.
He don't even know the people, but he put the shades on.
I'm a professional mourner.
You have to cry.
Yeah, sometimes you have to cry and then stick your hand out for your payment.
Yeah.
What was that Wanda? What her name? Wanda on 227? She could just cry at the drop of her hat.
Wanda,
that old lady?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, she was hilarious.
Yeah, so that's what's going on. And actually, it's really light up in here. It's a lot of light going on.
You don't have shades on every day.
Yeah, but today is a different day.
What's a part of his morning outfit?
Yeah,
Is it more light than usual? I mean,
yeah, it's a little bit more light.
Help me understand.
Uh,
Okay, well, I see you. I see you.
I just figured that.
Just look a little player.
Yeah, hold on 1 second. I gotta show my taco meat.
Don't do that. Don't
got
do
a little
that.
taco.
Don't put that camera over there.
Camera off.
Take the camera off here.
All right, taco meat's off, man.
So put that camera over there. Mr. Jabot, how are you?
I'm good. Let's move on.
Oh my God!
Come on, man. Why you so much
we done with you, fam.
Little dude over in the other room, he ready.
I'm coming.
He opened the doors to make sure he heard you call his name. I'm trying to listen. I wasn't waiting for my name.
Hey, Clark.
You fool. We say, who you with?
Don't let Debo change how you say it.
Man.
Who you with?
It was all sad.
Don't say it like that.
Disappointed.
Yeah. Don't let Debo, rain on your parade.
He got on shades too. Now that I look over another room, he got
shades on too.
Oh, them just black rim glasses.
Hey man, sometimes you gotta be cool.
You don't.
You gotta bring
not
the
all
cool
the
out.
time. Not all the time.
Cool. Really?
Yeah, you gotta bring it out early.
I can't.
Shell, do you know? I always wanted to tell you when you wear your hair like that.
Jermaine, don't talk to me. Don't talk to me.
I'm just saying,
Don't talk to me, man. All right. All right, y'all. It's a lot to get to today. This boy using up my that thing.
I didn't even do nothing.
My little bitty voice I got left on his nonsense. And by 8 o'clock, it will be silent up in here. So let me just tell you, there are any number of things that we have to get to this morning. When I say I'm going to try to roll through a number of things, because there's so much going on. This is one of those times where I'm just saying, I truly, The news cycle is so crazy and so mad. So let's jump right into it. First of all, I need people to know yesterday I was talking about all of the states that have begun to send out notices to their SNAP recipients, food stamps, food share, that they were um, going to either have benefits cut. Some letters went out that said effective October 16th, and others were saying by the end of the month. And so we raised the question about what was going on with Wisconsin. Well, Governor Evers came out yesterday, and for people that receive SNAP benefits, food share benefits, what the governor said on yesterday made a bunch of people kind of stand back on their heels, because he has said that the state's food share program will run out in 10 days. Potentially nearly 700,000 residents will be without crucial food assistance. If we hit the 10-day mark, today is day 22, I think, of the shutdown. That would be 32 days into the shutdown. The last time we had a shutdown of any substantial length of time, it was in the previous Trump administration. And again, you all have heard me say that was 35 days. So it is not like this is inconceivable that we could hit that 10-day mark. We've done it under a Trump administration before. So what does that mean in terms of how folks will feed themselves, feed their families? Um, a lot of people are going to be relying on food banks, but even the food banks are saying that they are, trying to stabilize and ready themselves to be able to meet demand if in fact we get to that 10-day mark and Wisconsin SNAP benefits are not loaded onto those cards as expected. There are churches that understand where we are. A number of churches have food pantries. So one of the things that we will do is, as we are nearing that day, that mark, I've already begun to compile a list of the different places that people can go to seek food assistance in this potential situation that we might find ourselves in. Let me just say this: there was a story last night on the news, and they showed women in Maryland and DC at the food pantry lines. These are former government employees, some of whom have been furloughed, some of whom have been fired, and y'all, they was all black faces. These were all black women. When we keep hearing that number, 350,000, 400,000 black women have lost their jobs since the Trump administration began. Much of this, which is deliberate, to see all these sisters in line waiting to get food from food pantries, it was sickening. So this is not a time to be silly with money. It's not a time to, and there are some people that are financially, you okay. I remember during COVID, I was okay. I worked for the state, and our offices, while no one could come to the office and we had staff working remotely, I went to the Capitol just about every day. Particularly that first year that we was down, nobody knew he was gonna be down like damn 3 years, 2 years. But I was okay. And so for a lot of my friends and people I know that weren't okay, I shared what I had because I had money coming in. While people were waiting for unemployment and usually needing that unemployment just to keep the mortgage and the rent paid, all kinds of people were falling through the cracks. So this is a time for folks that are okay to potentially consider buying a few extra canned goods, buying a few extra things, and not the crap that you won't eat. Because, we love to do that. Somebody said we got a food drive. You go in the back of the closet and dig out them canned green peas that don't nobody eat. You always give people what you don't want, as opposed to, well, they eating, Michelle. That's just not how this go. Handle people the way you want to be handled.
Don't give them no outdated cans and stuff.
All of that. I have seen people do stuff for food drives, and it just be trifling. Ain't nobody eating that. Don't nobody eat that, man. Or just give people a can of sauerkraut. What the?
Sauerkraut is good now. Wait a minute.
You ain't got nothing to put it on. Well, what you gonna just eat sauerkraut?
You eat it with corned beef. Polish.
Who giving out corned beef in Polish? See, that's that ignorance right there.
You can't,
Michelle. They can put it on stuff. What stuff? What stuff? And then he gonna name expensive stuff. Corned beef. Corned beef costs $45 now.
45. Come on now.
So I'm just saying. So we need to be thinking about that. I'm gonna tell people right now. You might want to start going to buy whatever you're gonna buy for holiday food. You might want to go buy that now and start putting that stuff in the freezer. And making sure you got what you need in your house for the holidays. Turkeys, from the information and the stories I've been seeing, they are anticipating that they're going to be 40% higher this year. So before, if I had $1,000 donation to go buy turkeys and I could get, I don't know, 500 turkeys for that, I'm just making up a number. Reduce that by 40%.
Wow.
So where you had station giveaways, you had church food giveaways, instead of 500 turkeys to give away, they're going to be able to afford 300 turkeys to give away. So there will be people that are used to being able, I can go to Milwaukee Health Services, I can go over to Brentwood, I can go over here. They giving away turkeys. It's not going to be as many turkeys because people's money is not going to go as far. I went to McDonald's yesterday. I bought a cup of coffee. My cup of coffee, a medium cup of coffee, was $1.86. I remember when that coffee was $1.06. I remember when it went to $1.26. And not even 3 weeks ago at this exact same location, I paid $1.56 or $1.52. And so when I pulled up yesterday after I left the station and bought coffee, and the girl said $1.86, I said I ordered a medium. Yeah, that's the medium price. Because they've been telling us coffee, the price of coffee is going up. So this is the time to do old school budgeting, old school stocking of your pantry, your cabinets, buying stuff now and putting it away. This is the time to remember how to make peas and beans and all that stuff that could stretch. Because we are just getting started with this administration. Even when we come out of the shutdown, it is going to be something else with this man. And the people that he has in place that are hell-bent on breaking the government. They're calling it a reduction in workforce. Some of this is intended to break aspects of the government. What did Donald Trump say? I am going after all the programs that Democrats care about. Democrats typically care about food. They typically care about education. They typically care about health care. They typically care about the veterans and the Department of Aging and energy and, health. So think about, if this man says, I'm going after the things that are important to Democrats, that primarily is most of the things that make your life bearable and livable. I got some calls. Let me go to the phone line. Hey, caller, what's happening?
Good morning, Michelle. This is Angela.
Good morning, Angela.
I was at the hospital, came home in tears because the doctor ran 30 to 40 minutes late, so they had to reschedule me till next week, Monday.
Wow.
Yep. And so now with this president, he wants 230 million from the DOJ. That was just on the news. And the guy that he pardoned just threatened the Jeffries guy.
Right.
Yeah. What the You know what?
Yeah, no, I will be talking about Trump, trying to bamboozle,
Mm-mm-mm.
swindle $230 million from
Yeah,
taxpayers. Because it's not from DOJ, it's from taxpayers.
right.
And so I'll definitely be talking about that. And yep, the threat made against Hakeem Jeffrey's life and how people are responding to that by somebody that was a January
Mm-mm-mm.
6th person that was given a pardon, who
Yes,
actually
ma'am.
had a record of miscellaneous stuff. So yes, ma'am, I'll get to that this morning.
Yeah, but yeah, I just wanted to let you know about what happened with me, but I came home in tears. So
Well, I am hopeful that this will, you'll be able to get that appointment as soon as possible. So did they reschedule it already?
yes, from on the 27th.
Okay, for
Yes,
Monday. All
yes,
right. Hang in there until you get there, Angela. Keep us posted.
I will.
All right. Thank you,
Uh,
sis.
all right, y'all have a blessed day.
You too. You too.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I gotta just say to people that as we just posed that question yesterday, so how are we gonna fare in Wisconsin? And we have a Republican Party. Um, our legislature is controlled by the Republicans. These people are not gonna be in any help. I'm sorry, any hurry to help people in need. At least not lay people, working people, everyday people. Now, if it's the business community, they got a plan for you. If it's fire and police, and really police, fire just benefit because of it, they got a plan for you. We can figure out a way to make y'all okay. If it's their constituency and their base, we got a plan for you. But the thing is, everybody is going to be impacted by SNAP benefits being unavailable in 10 days. That touches everybody. That's 730,000 estimated people in Wisconsin. And I want to be clear. That's almost 1/6 of our population. We are a state of about 6.5, almost 7 million people. So that is 1/6 almost of the state's population receives food share benefits. Do not let anybody tell you, oh, that's just black folks, brown folks, poor folks in Milwaukee, Racine, Beloit, or something like that. That's across the state. That is across the state. So that is one thing that I definitely wanted to put on people's mind and on their radar. One of the other things, and let me just go ahead and touch it while Angela referenced it. Many people saw the story yesterday. Folks were on, disbelief, upset. This, Clay Kane, who's over on Sirius XM, he wrote a book called Grift, the Grift, or something like that. I got it at home. Haven't read it yet, but what is going on? Stop. Get off my. Okay. But he has talked about, people being grifters. And the grifters are folks who swindle folks out of their money. And Donald Trump literally is doing everything he can to fleece the American people while he is in office. When I say this man and his family who had mediocre money, okay, mediocre money, they became enriched in the first administration. They about to straight ball off the planet in this administration. Deals are being cut everywhere that benefits his immediate family, that are going to enrich him in the long run. And so now this discussion about he feels like he was unnecessarily investigated, unnecessarily harassed with the different cases that were looking into behavior like, oh, I don't know, you took classified documents to Mar-a-Lago, and we see the boxes. We see the only reason why those cases stopped is because he became president. That's the only reason why. This man, freaking the same mess going on with John Bolton should be going on with Donald Trump. So because of these past investigations, he is talking about, and it's funny how he's trying to act like he's distancing himself from this, but this is all him 100%. Like somebody else, sat around and said, you know what? All the investigations that Donald Trump was under, we need to do something about that. Let's go to the Department of Justice and seek compensation for past investigations into his conduct. Just think about that. And when people ask him about it, well, I don't really know. I mean, I haven't I haven't really talked to them. I who hey fam, these your people. Don't none of these people make a move without talking to you or making sure you on board with what it is they are trying to do. Well, I mean, if I get some money, I'm gonna donate it. I wouldn't keep it, or I'll do something like that. I was greatly damaged, and any money I would get, I would give to charity.
Mm-hmm.
That's what this man is saying.
What man is that?
It's Donald Trump.
Nah.
The man who had the fake charitable organization that required an investigation in New York when they found out that very little of the money he was supposedly giving to charity ever made it to charity. Instead, he was spending the money on himself.
But this is the same guy that wasn't going to, the East Wing wasn't going to be touched. The White House wouldn't be touched. It would be an offset building that they're building,
This is the man who the state of New York said cannot have a charity in his name or anybody in his family for like 10 years because of fraud. Mm-hmm. This the same dude. So in the state of Wisconsin, you can be wrongfully convicted and go to jail. And the Republicans in the state of Wisconsin said the compensation for you is $5,000 per year up to 5 years. 27 years later,
5,000 max.
27 years in prison, wrongfully convicted. Might even find out that some people did some shady stuff. And the state of Wisconsin says all that time and all your inconvenience and all your hardship and your family, everybody is worth $25,000. So this man thinks because you were under investigation rightfully, we got you on video, fam. The people that worked at Mar-a-Lago talked about you having to move boxes from here to here, trying to outrun the feds when they was coming down to Mar-a-Lago. But I want people to be clear. This is going to happen. If any DOJ staff is capable of doing something this shady and this shiesty, it is the DOJ under Pam Bundy and the other clowns that's running stuff right now that can make this happen. But that money is going to be coming from taxpayers. We gave $5 million to Ashley Babbitt's family when she illegally entered the United States Capitol on January 6th, broke out windows in an effort to try to get to federal legislators and potentially harm these people. She was shot while she was breaking out the glass of a locked door in the Capitol and trying to climb through it when she got shot. And this DOJ awarded her family $5 million for being a damn criminal, caught and killed in a criminal act. They gave this white woman's family, and I'm being clear about race because it would have never happened for black people.
Did that ever go to court, or that was just a...
No, that was just DOJ doing a settlement.
Wow.
They just did a settlement. So,
Michelle, how much do you think of this shutdown is really playing into the fact that they are trying to delay the swearing in, and it could be why Johnson doesn't want to come back?
No, he is. They're not. I mean, Johnson is delaying. He's taking advantage of the shutdown to delay the swearing in of the legislator who.
What is she out of Arizona?
Yeah, out of Arizona, and I'm going to pull up her name because I haven't even committed her name to memory yet.
I can't even pronounce it.
I'll tell you what. Let me take a break because I'm over my time for break. I'll have that pulled up. We'll get through the rest of the litany of these stories. And I was saying 250 is 230 million that Trump is seeking. But yeah, I'll get to Mike Johnson refusing to bring this legislator in. Let me take a break, y'all. Michelle Bryant, WNOV, 860 AM, 106.5 FM. We'll be right back. All right, family, welcome back to the show. For anyone joining in, I apologize for my voice. Jermaine did lay hands on my throat and did a whole prayer. So maybe some of it is
I
kicking
hear,
in.
I hear it's coming on back.
It really felt like he was just choking me.
I was.
But
I needed to put some pressure on your esophagus because you got value in your esophagus. Amen. Your trachea.
I just,
Amen.
I just want to say, I've never had a brother's hands wrapped around my throat. Yeah, that's not for me.
Oh my.
that's
Hallelujah.
that's not for me. Before we went to the break, Debo raised the point about the Arizona legislator, Aldalita Gravalia, and I'm saying that I'm totally butchering her last name. She was actually elected on September 23rd. She replaced her father. He passed away. He had held the seat before her. And tomorrow it will be a month that she won that election and has yet to be seated. Mike Johnson has said it's because of the government shutdown. But one of the things that she did back on October 16th was to create a video showing her walking through the office that is her office and saying it's like being given a car that doesn't have an engine, no gas, no tires, because she literally can't do anything. She can't respond to constituents. She doesn't have a government email yet. All of the things that go with that office. So if somebody has a veteran in the family and they want a flag for the ceremony or they, have requests, she's unable to fulfill any of those things. Um, it, you know, and then you got staff that are now working in these offices who are now going unpaid. So everyone is asking Mike Johnson, why won't you swear this woman in? Well, we're going to do it when the shutdown ends. So Arizona residents in this district have no representation, at all. And somebody said, well, we're not even in session, but people are able to negotiate. People are able to talk behind the scenes. People are able to have access to other legislators. She's being denied all of that. She believes, and a lot of people believe, it's because she would shift the balance of the number of people that would vote to release the Jeffrey Epstein files. And Republicans have been fiercely doing everything they can, a lot of them, to prevent those files from being released, potentially because of who is in it, who may be named. And so, yeah,
She's made it unequivocally clear that she would vote for it,
absolutely.
for the release.
Absolutely. So it's a farce. There's no reason why he has to wait until the the impasse is over on the shutdown. Absolutely no reason whatsoever. All this is BS. And the other thing I'm wondering too, like, so will she get back pay? Because these people make like 180 some $1,000 a year. So this is a whole month's salary. What is that? I don't know, $15,000, $18,000 that she didn't get because of him not swearing her in. So think about that piece of it too. Like, you actually denying somebody their income because of this whole situation. And speaking of income, for congressional members, there are some congressional Republicans that are trying to move forward. I don't know if it would be a bill or policy that members of Congress not be paid during a government shutdown. Congressman Glenn Grothman from Wisconsin is a part of that cohort of Republicans, because what they want to do is pressure Democrats. So if y'all don't have income coming in, y'all will come to the table. A lot of Republicans that come into office tend to be financially better situated than Democrats. And they could probably withstand some of this. But it is so interesting that, yep, we're going to put that out there and see what happens. I don't think it'll go anywhere, but that's where we are. We got a phone call. Let me get them in. Hey, caller, what's happening?
Oh, good morning.
Good morning.
Michelle, you talked about the SNAP benefits ending.
Yes.
I'm headed. Did you see the news where there have barrels out in the Mitchell International Airport for the federal workers?
Oh yeah, I had
They
saw
got
that.
food bins
Right.
for for the federal workers. And I'm just going to add to the commentary as far as the government shutdown. We have to be careful in corporate America too. I'm headed to the crunchy office workers now, and our MAGA managers and stuff, they let go of my coworker yesterday. 8 years on the job, Michelle. And he did it just to set this example that they're in power, they can do what they want to do. And it's like the timing is so off. Why are y'all letting people go when all this stuff is going on in the world right now? So it was like the writing on the wall where they bring in these young white boys so they can replace the ones that've been there longer. But we just have to be careful. And I will be at Sam's Club getting tissue and food items. So thank you for the reminders.
All right. Thank you so much. And I'm glad she made the point about the corporate situation because, again, there will be people who feel insulated. 2 days ago, Molson Coors cut 400 corporate jobs. 2 days ago. They cut 400 corporate jobs. And what they have said is that they are positioning itself beyond beer. So they cut 400 salary jobs that will end by the end of this year to put in a plan to create a, quote, leaner, more agile business under their new CEO, Rahul Goyal. The move will result in a 9% reduction in the beer giant's corporate workforce. The cuts include hundreds of positions that were already open from the beer giant's role prioritization efforts earlier in the year. But employees are also going to be presented with buyout offers as a part of the restructuring.
Isn't that Miller Brands or something like that? Miller is
that's Miller.
into that, yeah.
Yeah, that's Miller. But the parent company name now is Molson Coors. But yeah, that's Miller beer. So I got the text messages a few days, when it happened, and people were like, did you see these 400 folks get laid off? Everybody is going to be hit. Everybody is going to be hit. Businesses are going to be making these decisions because between the tariffs and everything that's going on, I don't care how giddy investment communities get about Donald Trump being business friendly and he's going to do things that help us and, damn everybody else. Businesses are going to prosper under him. Only certain kinds of businesses run by certain kinds of people are going to prosper under a Trump administration. You cannot be a reckless idiot and continue to escape tragedy. It eventually catches you. And there are going to be people that get caught with him when eventually this whole thing bursts. I think about the housing crisis and all of the geniuses who was being slick and thought we're going to create these financing packages that we can, sucker in people to get home loans that these people really shouldn't have, can't afford. These adjustable rate mortgages, or the ARMs as people call them, are going to just put people in all kinds of precarious situations. And the thing about it, most of the people who designed that mess, they walked away scot-free. Employees got fired for, auto signatures on loans, and low people on the totem pole lost their job. But you create an entire industry. You create problems that affect an entire industry. And who has still not recovered from the 2008, 2009 housing crisis? Black people. We lost our homes, and many of those people never got them back. They never got back in position to be able to buy a house again. Let me go to the phone line. Hey, caller, what's happening? Hello?
Hey, Michelle, this is Nicole.
Hey, good morning, Nicole.
Girl, my mama called. She said, girl, call Michelle. She said she over there picking up my grandkids over on the 2700 block of Pierce. She said the street is loaded with ICE officers. She said they got battery rams busting in people's doors.
Wait, where is this at?
2700 block on Pierce Street, over on the east side.
And they doing what now?
She said they got battery rams. They busting into people's houses over there. They throwing those smoke bombs. She said
Ice.
these dudes is locked and loaded, walking around with these big old rifles up and down the street.
You know what? I am so glad you called. I will in the commercial break. I'm going to text some people so I can ask. And where's my? I didn't take my cell phone out. I am actually getting ready to get on the phone as soon as I go to commercial break. Tell your mama thank you. And I just said this yesterday. I just said it yesterday that they will be walking on our streets, y'all.
And they here. They here. She said it's horrible looking over there.
Okay, I will definitely reach out to the police chief and like, hey, what's going on? Were y'all notified that any of this is happening? Tell your mama I said thank you so much.
I will, love you. Have a good day.
You too.
All right, bye-bye.
Y'all, did we just not say this yesterday?
Well, when you have 16 shootings and all of the above, hey.
No, that's not related. That's not a hey. That's not ICE has nothing to do with 16 shootings.
I know, but
that's not a hey. That's not a connection.
They know what they're doing.
That's not a connection. We got to be
takes
clear
me back to
when we
you
talking
always
about
say,
this.
When you say, be careful of how you.
Absolutely.
That part.
Right. Yeah. No, we got to be careful how we're talking about this. And so 2700 block of Pierce, I'm trying to think about, because like I used to remember when I first was kind of learning Milwaukee, I was surprised at the number of Hispanic and Latino people that live like over by Holton. Mm-hmm. And, I know I had gone into Buffum, yeah. And I had gone into the Hispanic grocery stores and, a bunch of brothers that I know eat, Hispanic food.
Pueblo foods over there?
Yeah. And so I would go over there and it was this one meat thing, patty thing that I liked from there. So I would go in there and go get that. Mm-hmm. But I was really surprised at the amount of Hispanic people that live in that little corridor over there. Mm-hmm. And so when she's saying over off of Pierce, and I'm trying to like kind of put that point of reference in mind, I don't know Pierce Street, Debo and Jermaine. What is Pierce Street?
It's two different Pierces. There's one on the south side too. But she
said over here on this side.
2700. That's what?
Because
Locust.
That's like
Locust between
Locust and Center.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I will definitely reach out to the chief because it was a matter of time before they were walking the streets of Milwaukee. If you've been watching the news and looking at how they have been handling these people, black folks getting roughed up and thrown up against walls, like, there's nothing about me that looks Hispanic or Latino, but young black men, grown black men, this is an excuse to engage them and harass them. And they talked about how, well, some of them were let go within a few hours, but I had no business getting caught up in this. And these are warrantless arrests. You are just walking up to people because the Supreme Court gave these people the guise of saying you basically could racially profile people. You can listen to their language and profile people and be able to have a justified reason to engage, zip tie people, question their status. Let me go to the phone line real quick. Hey, caller, what's happening?
Hey, Michelle, this is Angela. About the food stamps, I meant to tell you, my cousin still has connection to that because she used to work there. If people try to save their stamps for next month, it's not going to work. They can't use them. As of the 31st, everybody's food stamps got to be used because next month they're not going to roll over and you can't save anything.
Oh, that's a good point. That's an interesting.
So, yeah, I was wondering the same thing.
Oh my goodness,
they can't save them. They gotta spend them.
You need to spend them.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna reach out. Let me see if I can get Senator Johnson's office on the line so we can get an official verification on that. Thank you so much, Angela, for that additional. Yeah. Come on, y'all. You said you were wondering the same thing, Devo?
Yeah, like if you already had a balance, is that balance
can you roll it
substantiated over? Or is it going to go away because the money ain't there?
Or you just won't be able to access it? Well, depending on how they choose to handle it, though, they can freeze it. I don't know, but I'm gonna get on the phone and get Senator Johnson get her staff on it to find out for us what happens in that case of a rollover to the next month. Um, so just make no mistake, we definitely got to move differently. Um, you know, people talked before about um, this feels like the 60s. This feels like the civil rights era. In some cases it's even worse because there were at least some protections in place in terms of the federal government, the Department of Justice. Not everybody was bought and paid for the way we see them in the Trump administration. He, like, literally the person that he had nominated, where's that at? The person that he had nominated to be in the whistleblower's office. Let me pull that up real quick just to further frame out what I mean. So Donald Trump had nominated this man by the name of, and I'm just pulling up the story real quick, Paul Ingracia. Okay. And he was his nominee to oversee the federal whistleblower protections program. So you are coming forward and screaming on folks that are doing stuff illegal. Okay. The man that he chose, who is currently a White House liaison at the Department of Homeland Security, was the subject of a report that Politico put out on Monday, in which they ran text messages that this guy had written, where he described himself as having a Nazi streak. I talked about this yesterday. Suggested Martin Luther King Jr. Day should be tossed in the seventh circle of hell. And in this post that he did yesterday, I will be withdrawing myself from Thursday's hearing to lead the office of special counsel because unfortunately I do not have enough Republican votes at this time. So you don't acknowledge that you said some jacked up racist nonsense. So Jewish community goes up in arms. They call their legislators to say this man better not get appointed. He better not get seated. I wonder how many black people understood what was happening and how many of us picked up the phone and called and said this man better not be seated. I didn't. I didn't even think to do it. But the way we respond to stuff is going to have to change. It's going to have to change. Ron Johnson said prior to Ingratia's withdrawal, he would not support Ingratia's nomination. I'm a no. It never should have gone or got this far. They ought to pull the nomination. That is what Ron Johnson at least said about this particular, individual. This man is disgusting. He is literally, and he is now a liaison. Why should he even be able to continue to be a liaison with Homeland Security? Why? But racism is not a deal breaker anymore. I'm going to say this real quick. Bring it back local for just a second. Hey, Milwaukee Brewers, we still waiting on y'all to open y'all damn mouth. Hey, Milwaukee Brewers, we're still waiting on y'all to open y'all damn mouth. The man who got into it with the white female, the Hispanic man that got into it with the white female, and she talked about let's call ICE, and that man was put out of the stadium. I didn't know that they also banned him from for life for coming to the stadium. What did you ban him for life for? Gideon Verdine did a story. Reporter Gideon Verdine did a story interviewing a member of the Hispanic Latino community, who was saying, the Milwaukee Brewers, you owe this man an apology. And you owe the community an explanation. So on the strength of this white woman who actually was being the jerk, you put this man out the ball field and then you ban him for life. If that is true, what was said in this report that was done by Gideon Verdine, Hey, Brewers, where you at? And everybody radio silent. You can't get no comment. Where you at, fam? With taxpayer money going to help, build that house y'all living in. Where you at? How does nobody have anything to say? But you had a lot to say when you was putting them out. Y'all had a lot to say if, in fact, you did ban this man for... This man ain't hit nobody. He ain't cussed out nobody. He didn't disrespect nobody. What did he do to get banned for life? If that is actually correct. So, Milwaukee Brewers, y'all need to... And I know it's plenty of people that know folks that work for the Brewers organization. Where the hell y'all at? Somebody need to answer that question. So Becky Lou, a.k.a. Shannon, I think is her real name, get to create a whole damn commotion. Did she get banned for life? Did she get put out that day too? I need answers to those questions. Or did just the Mexican-American man who is a veteran who fought in Afghanistan and Iraq, or I know he said 2 places, did just the Mexican-American veteran get put out, but the racist lawyer got to stay? Is that what y'all saying, Brewers? I mean, we need some answers, fam. Y'all real quiet. Y'all real quiet. I appreciate Gideon for doing that story. And as I said about the man who got put out, bro, you was way too chill for me. Yeah, I don't think she should have been fired. My behind. You disrupted my whole life and then tried to tell somebody you was going to call ICE on me. And all the inconvenience that could have brought. But Milwaukee Brewers, answer the question. Did y'all ban that man for life from that stadium? And if you did, who made the decision and why was it made? What did you base it on? And did I think her name is Shannon. I gotta go back and look. Did Becky Lou get banned too? Because it was it was more than one person involved in the conversation. I'm just saying. Somebody ought to answer these questions. All right. So let me do this. There are a couple of other things that I want to get to. Somebody said you're not call that lady Becky Lou. That's what it feels like. That's absolutely what it feels like. When I come back from break, I gotta take a second. The infamous Fannie Lou Hamer quote about being sick and tired of being sick and tired. So I just recently learned something about Fannie Lou Hamer that caught me off guard. I saw a photo of Milwaukee County Sheriff Danita Ball standing outside of a sheriff's squad car that was painted black and it had pink accessory stuff on it to symbolize breast cancer awareness. And the Milwaukee County Sheriff is a breast cancer survivor. I believe they said she might have been in stage 4 when she found out. And her husband had posted something, Odell, on Facebook about admiring her strength, that, she had gone through this 15 years ago, 15-year survivor. She actually corrected him. She was like, bruh, it's 17 years that I've been a survivor. And I just remember thinking how cool whoever had the idea to put the pink on the sheriff's squad car, the fact that this sister is actually a survivor. One of the things that didn't get said in the article, but it's something I heard from somewhere. I heard it from a reliable source that she had like 34 chemo treatments and she never missed a day of work while she was fighting this thing in terms of those. So I don't know all of it, but the Danita Ball story made me pay attention to the Fannie Lou Hamer story, because it is now being said that when Fannie Lou Hamer was fighting that fight on behalf of civil rights and talked about being sick and tired of being sick and tired. Fannie Lou Hamer was actually dying of breast cancer. Had never heard that. BET, not BET, Black Enterprise magazine has done an incredible piece on this. And I will talk about it when I get back from the break. And also gonna make these calls to the police chief and to Senator Johnson to try to get some answers to these other things that have come up. Give me a minute, y'all. I'll be right back. All right, family, welcome back to the show. During the break, we received some additional information. This again came in via text messages. It was sent to Jermaine that they have seen ICE agents now over near El Rey grocery store and also at one of the McDonald's franchises over on the south side by Miller Parkway. And so we are trying to figure that piece of it out. And I reached out to Senator Johnson's office, just double checking on what was going on with the SNAP portion. But I also, and she has been responding and talking with her team. But I also got a text message from Rhonda, Keith's wife, saying that I read what Angela just said. They need to spend it. It was on the news. So, yep. And thank you, Senator Johnson, for getting back to me. That's what we're trying to get to more specifically, that the cards just may not work at all. So even though those benefits are there, when you go to try to use them, they just may shut the system down so that none of those cards are working, even if you have a balance on it. And because if we hit that 10-day and we don't know when it will be over, you may run out of food or some basic supplies until it kicks back in. So you probably want to go ahead and spend those dollars that are remaining on your EBT card before we get to that 10-day window and we don't know what's going to happen. Go ahead and buy what you need to buy so that you have those resources available to your family. Let me go to the phone line. Thank you, caller. What's happening?
Oh, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Hey, listen, when it comes down to these ICE raids, listen, I really think that I think these are test runs, because if you really want to get those people that we say that are gang members, and it's known gang affiliated here in the city, you would run down those apartments on Wells in Wisconsin, Wells from 27th to 35th. They have took them over. Y'all don't believe? Well, people that know what I'm talking about know. That's where you're going to find your corruptness at, right there on this north side. Where the south side, hey, I think they should hit some of them places and clean them up. People fill out applications at El Rey. They don't hire no blacks or no whites, but we have to hire them over here, and they can't speak the English. So they say, you don't know the Spanish. Well, then why do we have to hire your butt over here in our businesses? But guess what? You won't hire none of us. And believe you me, people are filling out applications all the time in those McDonald's over there, and they don't get hired. All the time for that El Rey store on 35th, Burnham, and on 16th Street. Guess what? They don't hire us. All right? So is that racist? I was telling somebody we should file a suit against them.
So let me ask this question though. So because somebody chooses not to hire us, they choose to hire their own. So that should be like a thing that makes it okay for ICE to go in and potentially, because we saw footage of ICE going into a Hispanic owned grocery store in another city, and they knocked the owner down, a 70-some-year-old man. They just like straight up clothesline this old man
Michelle,
and knocked him to the ground. And then they chase people all through the stores running like wild banshees. A lot of the ICE agents themselves appear to be racist.
But hold on, most of them are Hispanic. A lot of them are Hispanic because they speak the language. They are Hispanic. So what we're doing,
I don't know any of that to be true. I don't know. I don't know. And you know how I don't know that to be true? And you know how I know you don't know it to be true? Because their faces are covered. Their faces are covered. We don't know who's going in there. We just know that the majority of their skin is not black. But we don't know who these ICE agents are. Like the ICE agent who lied and rammed the back of that woman's car in Chicago and then shot her 5 times. And then shot her 5 times and drove the ICE vehicle 1,100 miles back to Maine.
Can you get somebody from ICE on the show?
We probably could ask.
I think that would be a good thing to get a commander, somebody that's.
I don't
that's
believe
in
nothing
charge.
they getting ready to say, Meech.
But let's just what you can judge then.
I mean, I can judge what I'm seeing.
Right.
I don't have to talk to them to know what I see.
Oh.
What's going on in Chicago? What's going on around the country? People are posting videos of the way this man literally yells in this woman, "Do something, B," before he shot her 5 times.
Listen,
and then lied on the report and said that she rammed his car. But when you looked at the video, he rammed her car.
Michelle, the police do this all the time. We're not worried about that. That's what the law said.
No, you're not worried about it. I'm worried about it.
No, you got a thing running on the radio right now about the farmers, and the black farmers are talking about there'll be some foreclosures, and we should be in position. And guess what? I think that's going to happen with the housing again. Last time it happened, guess what? Most of us wasn't in position, and people just walked away from their mortgages that were in over their head. Guess what? You got a heads up now. Get your ducks in order, and whatever. Some of that stuff was bought real cheap, real cheap. That had foreclosed. So this is a time really for people to start thinking, because the game ain't gonna change because me and you got our fists up and we want it to move another way. It's gonna keep rolling forth the way that they got it planned to roll forth. And this purging thing with these food stamps, this is a purge. Food stamps, Social Security, disability, SSI. This is a purging process because the people that came into this country. Now, this ain't just something. I guess you might think I'm just making this stuff up, but sometimes I sit around people and I listen. People that's calling shots and making things happen. This is a purging process, and the people that came into this country were doled out food stamps. They were doled out Social Security.
You cannot get any of those things if you are in this country illegally. Stop it.
No, that's not.
Stop it. Stop it. You do not qualify for these benefits if you are in this country illegally and you have not gone through something like DACA.
You're right.
Stop it.
Michelle, they didn't qualify. You're right. They were given to them. And guess what?
Given to them by who?
To get the administration all over any country, any state that allowed these people to come in, they took care of these people. These people have the EBT cards. Guess what? Now, when they cut off everybody, me and you can go back in there because we got a Social Security card.
Let me be
we
clear.
Got our paperwork.
Let me be clear.
Won't be able to go back and
Black people getting caught up and harassed and put in zip ties, just like these Hispanic and Latino people are. And many of these Hispanic and Latino people are not illegal immigrants, and they don't deserve to be treated in this way.
Why are we lumping those in the same area, in the same?
Because I'm talking about the basic treatment of human beings, Meech. I'm not isolating it out based on race. There is a way to do things. Even if you are a drug dealer and you on a boat illegally transporting drugs, you do not deserve just to be blown to smithereens. There is a way to do things. That's why this country is supposed to be different from other places in the world, because we have due process, law and order, not people just deciding because I don't like you, I don't like who you hire, I don't like the way you do business, that I can treat you any kind of way. I gotta go, bro. I gotta go. Thank you. Thank you. Let me get the next caller. Hey, caller, what's happening?
Well, I wanted to share with you too with the last caller. They do have over 400,000 undocumented Europeans that nobody is raising any hell about, which I find to be mighty funny. And also with those ICE agents, some of them are shooting police officers, and they have tear gas some of the Chicago police. And some of these ICE agents know what they're doing is wrong because they asked them, they had asked them that, and they said no comment. They say they do this for a better life, and they say, well, why can't nobody else do it? So they know what they're doing. And also, an attorney said that ICE agent has zero immunity. So when everything goes over, I hope they sue them for their burial plot. And when they're laying in the ground smelling like death, I hope they go for the maggots that's sucking on their bones like neck bones and pork chops with no seasoning, because you know they use no lorries. Have a great day.
All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And this is the thing, that's so crazy to me. People act like this is okay. It's normal because it's not happening to you. But This is about basic humanity and the due process, and the way things are supposed to be done. This is, and let me just give you all a quick update. We've been in touch with some folks from news outlets who were on their way over to 27th and Pierce. They had not seen some of the stuff yet, but they were sending their folks trying to figure out what was going on in the area. So just so you know, there are news outlets that are trying to follow up on some of the things that we're being told here at the station. I also did flag it for the chief of police, and just sent a text message saying, hey, these are some of the calls that we're getting. So just so you know, we are sharing this. Let me see. Pierce and Center Street. Yeah, that's what they said. Pierce, 2700 block of Pierce is what we made people aware of. Thank you, Senator Johnson, for the information. Got some callers on the line. Let's get them in. Hey, caller, what's happening?
Hello, Michelle. How you doing this morning?
I'm good. How are you this morning?
I'm doing okay until I heard that last caller. I mean, if I were you, I'm just saying, I'll just put him off and not allow him to come on the air anymore. I know you can't do it, but if I were you, you take a lot. You really do.
Okay, bro. I appreciate the comments. You got anything else? Was that's what you wanted to say?
Mm-hmm. Well, this end of the food card thing, you have to spend all that before. I say the first, because the first is the 10th day. First is first day of next month. So that's the 10th day. I heard you say you're supposed to spend that up in 10 days.
Spend it before next Saturday. Unless the shutdown. If the shutdown is resolved next week, then you ain't got to worry about it. But if the shutdown is not resolved by the 31st, next Friday, you need to make sure you spend whatever balance is left on your card.
Sweetheart, I hope it does end, because I kind of have a lot on my card, and
hey, bro, get that off there. Get it off there. Yeah, okay. Buy stuff that is, stuff you don't have to worry about going bad. Get it off there. To get it off. Like I said, get to Thursday. If there has been no movement by Thursday, you need to get to the store. Get it off there.
I will do.
All right. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you. All right. Let me go to the next caller. Hey, caller. What's happening? Hello.
Hello. Well, happy Vaseline. You sound like you need some Ricola. You don't need no Vaseline.
No, I do. I take Ricola, but Keisha took them all, so I just gave all of them away. So I'm going to.
Don't let Keisha be the one. Back in the day, you got the people who taking cough drops and don't even need
them. Yeah. Nah, her voice jacked up too. Hers was started. Hers started before mine. So yeah.
All y'all got cooties.
I don't have cooties. Let me be clear. I have a condition. I don't have cooties. What's going on, Arizona?
So this dude talking about why they don't want to hire us black folks at a Spanish-speaking market that we can't speak Spanish, but he want us to hire us there. but you don't go to Whitefish Bay or somewhere where they talking about they don't want to hire us at Syndex and Whole Foods and over here and over there. But you want us to go over there. No, can't even say Naranja, but you want us to go over there to go work out there. Come, man, what is he talking about? You can't even read the signs over there, but you want us to go work over there, fam?
And like, for real, how many black folks trying to go get hired at El Rey? Like, just come on.
We can't even understand the money you're trying to give us back, fam.
I'm just saying. I think that there's definitely merit to what you are raising. I tell people, like, oh, they're taking our jobs. You didn't go apply for that job. You did not go apply for that job.
I'm gonna tell you. In Arizona, you don't see them Negroes up there on top of these palm trees cutting them down. You don't see them Negroes out there 117 degrees out there mowing somebody's lawn. Man, listen, we ain't standing outside. You don't see them white folks out there doing that. What is dude talking about, man? Nobody's doing these jobs. Nobody's on them orange trees out there picking at them grapefruits. Dude, you ain't getting out there. You can't even shovel your damn snow. So I know you ain't finna be out there, fam. Dude is a complete A.
Tell him what you're mad about, B. Tell him what you're mad about, B.
Hey, don't call Arizona raising all his hell. We
Hey, I said you don't see. Listen, he don't want to shovel no snow. I'm on business this morning.
Arizona. We'll talk to you later.
Hey, he took this got Jack completely out.
He done lost.
And ready to go. This cat went on a 7-minute rant straight through.
Hey, as I said, Debo, I digress.
Yeah, you more than digress, Negro. You left the whole damn plantation.
And another thing.
What'd you say, Dr. Ray?
And another thing.
And that's Debo. And another thing. But I want the lion though.
No, thank you, Arizona. We appreciate your call.
That cat jumped out, didn't he?
Call us in 2 weeks.
Hey man, take a breath. Eat a couple apples. Just gonna be
oranges.
Oranges, yeah.
You ain't gotta pick them.
Yeah, doc.
You ain't gotta pick them. But you can eat them. All right, we got another caller. Let's go to the phone line. Hey, caller, what's happening? Oh, Lord.
Good morning, Michelle. Take a breather. Take a breather. I'm gonna get you a massage and stuff because you're doing a good job here. Listen, about Meach. Now, I wonder why Meach calls here because he can't get any radio station, a Republican station, don't even roll like this. So won't he call the Republican station? And won't he ask the Republicans and call his friend Donald Trump and ask Donald Trump about getting somebody on a Republican radio station about ISIS, if he's got all that connection and stuff. But see, this is his outlet right here. He calls on this station only. He don't be calling around.
He be on Al Sharpton. Girl, Meach call everybody.
No, I hear Al Sharpton on the other station. He called one at one point. He called everybody. I'm just saying he calls radio stations that let him get a voice. I haven't heard him say nothing about the Republicans, what they're doing, what he loved about Republicans, okay? Won't he call those radio people and see if they'll let him get through on that station? And maybe he can call.
No, they won't let him get through.
Well, what? Because they're not even interested in anything.
They won't let him get through.
No, I know that. I'm just saying, it's just ridiculous how he calls here. But I'm going to tell something about these food stamps. First of all, I'm not a big provider of SNAP anyway. I think people are getting too much money to begin with and everything else, but we won't get into that. But if you got stuff, buy some canned goods, buy some dry food, dry beans, protein. You don't need to be buying meat, and donate it to the food shelters. Donate some stuff. Give of people. You don't have to always give to your family who don't need it. Give out to the other people. Give to some of the churches who have food.
Well, let's be clear. Let's be clear. If you qualify for food stamps, you need it. You need it.
Okay, we'll put it like that. Okay.
And the one thing I do not care for is when people try to tell other folks what they shouldn't buy with their food.
Well, I didn't say what they shouldn't buy. I said try to buy more of the dry products because it lasts longer.
That part I got you. I agree.
You know what I'm saying? So I'll clear it up. Bags of beans are probably better than canned beans with all the sodium in it. So I'm saying buy more dry stuff that's going to last longer. For you if that's what you're going to be doing out here because this is ugly. But I'm hoping they, regardless of anything, they settle on something first. But sometimes things have to hit the fan to open up to other things. Okay. And if Donald Trump has a stroke, he gonna still come up in that office. Okay, I'm just telling y'all like that. He gonna walk his butt up in that building because that's who he is. And if he passes out and dies, his successor is not gonna be any better. Okay, he's not gonna be any better. He's a young man, vigorous, and they have power. And he may be in office 4 years from now. His vice president. Let's just get that straight now. Okay.
Right. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yes, ma'am. Man, folks are loading up in here today. Look, I got to take a break. When I come back, I am going to get the Fannie Lou Hamer because I just thought that story was remarkable and given again the Milwaukee County Sheriff, Danita Ball. I know a number of breast cancer survivors. And when I say these are some of the toughest, baddest sisters and women that I have encountered, you have to appreciate and take time to honor people's struggle. So let me take a break. I'll be right back, y'all. All right, family. So I want to make sure I hit this before I get out of here today. Many of us, particularly people that are students of the civil rights era, that have a profound and healthy respect for the Black folks who put their lives on the line for us every day, who endured hardship, incarceration, jail. Some people paid the ultimate price with their life. We know who a lot of these heroes and sheroes are. And we've, hopefully passed these stories down. But there is one person, Fannie Lou Hamer. If that quote, sick and tired of being sick and tired, is not one of the most well-known quotes. I mean, it's up there with the I Have a Dream speech. That's how well known it is. So Black Enterprise magazine did this recent piece regarding Fannie Lou Hamer. And I want to quickly read it because it's important. On October 6, 1917, Fannie Lou Hamer was born in Montgomery County, Mississippi. She died on March 14th, 1977, at age 59, after aggressively fighting breast cancer. Starkly different from the 2025, where advanced technology is used to successfully treat breast cancer, and the current 5-year survival rate for breast cancer is 91%, according to the American Cancer Society. Survival in the 1970s was bleak. The rate of survival was an abysmal 55 to 68% for women diagnosed with stage 2 breast cancer, and a mere 16 to 19% for advanced metastatic cancer. Hamer, a freedom fighter for Black rights, fought fiercely against white supremacy and failing health. Hamer is heralded as one of the famed Mississippi activists coming out of Mississippi and the civil rights movement. The civil rights leader had a down-home grassroots approach to fighting for equality in the Deep South and was very vocal about voting rights for African Americans. A woman of little means, but great determination, Hamer mobilized hundreds of Black Mississippians to register to vote at a time when Jim Crow had the region in a chokehold. Hamer was harassed, threatened, jailed, and severely assaulted in her attempt to fight racism. She was even the target of an assassination attempt on September 10th, 1962, after racists fired 16 shots into a room where she slept. In 1963, she was arrested and brutally beaten with batons by 2 Black prisoners at the behest of racist police officers. Even then, Hamer's civil rights activism and leadership were not deterred. She went on to serve in several roles for civil rights and political organizations, including SNCC, the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, the National Women's Political Caucus, the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, SCLC, and the Freedom Democratic Party. Hamer appeared in Harlem with the Honorable El Haj Malik El-Habaz, Malcolm X, on December 20th, 1964, where she presented her notable speech, Sick and Tired of Being Sick and Tired, where she gave a raw account of the racism, voter suppression, and police brutality she endured. Hamer stated, quote, "Some of the things I've got to say today may be a little sickening. People have said year after year, those people in Mississippi can't think. But after we would work 10 and 11 hours a day for $3 lousy and couldn't sleep, and we couldn't do anything else but think. And we have been thinking a long time, and we are tired of what's going on. And we want to see now what this here will turn out for the 4th of January. We want to see, is democracy real?" Hamer returned to Mississippi after that powerful speech and continued to fight for civil rights. In 1968, she purchased over 600 acres of land in Ruleville to start the Pig Bank, a community farm and affordable housing initiative for low-income families. Hamer even helped start a Head Start program and pressed on with activism through the mid to late 1970s until her health became grave. Hamer was not just sick and tired of being sick and tired. She was literally sick and dying. She was diagnosed with late stage breast cancer in 1976, which halted her activism. She died of breast cancer complications shortly thereafter. I wanted to bring that up because we are at this point in America where people gonna have to dig deep to be able to help make sure that we come through this whole thing okay. And this whole thing, I mean, is the Trump administration. It is the current climate that we are in when companies are walking away from a commitment to make sure that their organizations represent the clients that they serve, the people that live in their communities. This is not just about, hiring Black folks for the sake of hiring Black folks, hiring brown folks for the sake of hiring brown folks. This is about you have a community, a city like Milwaukee, damn near a majority minority city, but most of your corporations, executives, corporate C-suite staff, they don't look like the community that you serve. And there are people who will say, Michelle, we've been on the battlefield for a long time. And quite frankly, I'm tired. And I appreciate that. And I will tell people, be tired, but train somebody else. Be tired, but encourage somebody else. Be tired, but write a check. Be tired, but make a donation. Be tired, but don't stop talking. Be tired, but appreciate. It's people that fought this thing until they died. This woman was battling breast cancer while battling for us. And too many of us have taken that stuff for granted. We don't want to be uncomfortable. We don't want to be called out. We don't want to take a risk. We want to let other people do the heavy lifting. And the other thing I will say about Fannie Lou Hamer, because people try to tell you who should be the spokesperson, who should be the leader, who should represent the community, or who should be the voice. Anybody that wants to fight and speak up, you do that. Because Fannie Lou Hamer, who they talk about, comes from meager means. I don't know what her educational level was. But you know Fannie Lou Hamer's name, like Dr. PhD, early young college, graduate Dr. Martin Luther King. You know Fannie Lou Hamer's name, like Thurgood Marshall's name. You know Fannie Lou Hamer's name, like anybody that was degreed, that was of a certain socioeconomic class or status, that was from the other side of the tracks. I tell people all the time, you don't have to change to contribute. You don't have to be intimidated and fall back and say, I'm going to let so-and-so because they got more education. They a better speaker. They are better this. Do your damn part. How many people went back and bought 600 acres of land to be able to help Black folks have housing? That was a poor woman that figured out how to get that done. And then when you add in the health challenges. And so I wanted to take a second, because when I saw the post about Sheriff Danita Ball, who, for full transparency, is my sorority sister, but that has nothing to do with the price of tea in China. But I had immense respect, because there are folks that work every day to make that woman's job miserable. So there's an event happening that I just learned about since I started talking about this morning. The Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office is hosting Badges and Ribbons, a courageous conversation regarding breast cancer awareness. October 25th over at El Bethel Church, 5401 West Good Hope Road, from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Milwaukee County Sheriff Danita Ball is the featured person, but there will be guest speakers, survivor stories, support networks, resources, refreshments. And they say, join us for an inspiring and educational breast cancer awareness forum. This community event is dedicated to spreading awareness, offering support, and encouraging early detection in the fight against breast cancer. Hear from healthcare professionals, survivors, advocates. Everyone is welcome. Let's make a difference together. I am proud of this sister. I am proud of her for sharing her story. I love whoever's idea that was to do that car in the way that they did it. But badges and ribbons, if y'all get a chance, because many of us know someone or have ourselves been impacted by breast cancer. Let me go to the phone line. Hey, caller, what's happening?
Well, good morning, Miss Michelle Bryant.
Hey, JT, I appreciate you holding on while I did the Fannie Lou Hamer piece. Thank you for that.
You are very welcome, and thank you for allowing me to hold on. And thank you so very much for you taking care of yourself and telling it like it is to the community, and you're not ashamed about it. But anyway, Michelle, good morning to you, Ms. Michelle Bryant, and good morning to the outstanding gentlemen in the studio. And gentlemen, I know I'm not going to say anything because I don't call y'all names one at a time anymore. It's because it's too many of y'all. Once upon a time, it was just Michelle and Keon Jackson alone. And now Michelle is you. And how many more? With Mr.
100? It's 100 of them.
But anyway, gentlemen, good morning to all of you in the studio, in the house this morning. I appreciate y'all being there too. Next time I call, I promise to mention everybody's name. Mr. Devo, Mr. Jermaine Right Dr. the Superman, Mr.
See, you're doing it anyway. You said you weren't going to do it, and you're doing it. Come on, JT, man.
Well, Michelle, quickly, because I know your time is getting short. But quickly, I just wanted to say, first of all, I'm going to put my play doctor's hat on, okay?
Okay.
Because I hear how you sounding up there, and I know you're doing your best. That's what happens when you be ripping and running and don't have time to really take care of yourself. But Grandmama used to say, hey, drink you some hot toddy. Now, hot toddy can be anything you want, but get you some hot cup of tea and put you some ginger flavored brandy in it. You and Dr. Lakeisha Myers. Y'all drink you some hot tea.
I'm drinking it right now. It's gotten cold, but I came in with hot tea. And lemon. I just didn't put the brandy in it because I wanted to be straight for the show. But I will tip that as soon as I get back to the house. Thank you, JT.
Well, and one more thing, conclusion.
Yes, sir.
This Donald Trump. Now, I heard that the east wing of the White House, he started tearing up, right?
Yep.
And then on the Channel 12 national news this morning, they said he went overboard. They went farther than they were supposed to. Now you got these lawmakers in Washington, D.C. Standing around looking like some creatures calling somebody's headlights.
Right.
Like what is going on? You know, it sounds like you're trying to tear down the White House and build him up a Trump Tower because he thinks he's going to be there forever. But I'm just saying, Michelle. I'm just saying.
Right.
I thought that was crazy. But anyway, dear, continue to take care of yourself, and thank you for a wonderful show, and thank you for the great minutes you got there working with you. And everybody have a good day, and thank you, listening audience. Y'all are the best.
Thank you, JT. Appreciate you, bro. So yeah, let me do this with the last remaining few minutes in the show. Social media was a buzz yesterday because I had talked about briefly. There was discussion. People were hearing grumblings on the ground about whether or not Mandela Barnes was planning to get former Lieutenant Governor Mandela Barnes, former candidate for the U.S. Senate, Mandela Barnes was planning to get into the gubernatorial race here in Wisconsin. And there was a story that dropped in the New York Times yesterday that a lot of people caught wind of. A lot of folks from Milwaukee were quoted in this article, and the article, the caption, "This Democrat lost a big race. The party is uneasy about his return." Mandela Barnes, the former lieutenant governor of Wisconsin, lost a race for Senate in 2022. He is likely to run for governor in 2026, while Democrats are eager for new candidates and new ideas. So I'm gonna tell you, I thought this was an interesting article. The twist in which they approached writing the story, but the bottom line, the gist of it, a Democrat who was handed a major nomination only to lose what the party considered to be a winnable general election against a detested Republican rival comes back 4 years later seeking to run for an open seat and finds no deference from a large field of primary opponents. Uh, for whatever reason, the author of this, or I'm sorry, the reporter wanted to work in Kamala Harris. This may well be the situation facing former Vice President Kamala Harris in 2028. And he kind of parallels Mandela's run for U.S. Senate with Kamala Harris's run for the presidency, U.S. presidency. But he goes on to say, but the exact scenario is already playing out in Wisconsin for Mandela Barnes, who narrowly lost the race to Senator Ron Johnson and is now planning a campaign to replace Governor Tony Evers. So it says, and then they talk to different people. They quote in the article Joe Zepecki, who was a Democratic strategist. Quote, Mandela would be the front runner the moment he got into a campaign for the Democratic nomination, but I do not anticipate any scenario where you would see a repeat of 2022 where the other candidates bow out. The first thing I started to do when I read Joseph Pecky's comments was I started laughing, because one of the things that a lot of these people do, they talk about it from a white perspective. He would be a front leader. A front runner. And I'm like, Joe, whose community are you talking about? So that was one thing that stood out for me in the article. It goes on to say across the country, similar dynamics are playing out. In recent days, there's been a backlash against Senate Democratic leadership. So the party's campaign committee endorsed Governor Janet Mills over in Maine against Graham Plattner, and they're talking about what the fallout is in there. They're talking about what's going on in Texas, what's going on in Michigan. So all these different players, new people, new faces showing up to run for some of these positions. So they go on down later in the article, and they say already several Wisconsin Democrats have begun campaigns for governor, a field that includes the state's current lieutenant governor, and also Barnes plans to enter the race for governor as well, according to two people who have spoken with him recently. Publicly, he has said he is considering joining the race and will announce a decision in the coming weeks. Barnes declined to be interviewed for this story in the New York Times. And then they talk about the apprehension. Barnes, who was 38, less about his age, more about a detested party establishment than about a desire to avoid renominating a candidate who recently lost. They give background about him serving in the legislature and then, running for lieutenant governor. And I'm just trying to get down to the end where you got folks from different camps. The people of Wisconsin are hungry for new leaders. There was a poll conducted by some organization, a Republican organization called Platform Communications. They said they found Mr. Barnes had support from 16% of Democrats, a figure twice as much as any of the announced Democratic candidates in the race, but not necessarily high enough to intimidate primary rivals. A Democratic pollster said, or progressive journalist said, he was surprised when only 21% of his followers on a Twitter poll said that Mandela should run for governor. So it goes through this whole thing about what he should do, whether he should get into this race or not. I just want to say, for transparency, I was actually interviewed by this reporter. He did not put any of my quotes or comments in the story. And one of the things I said is I looked at the angle by which they wrote the story, and it was literally using people that were his supporters to raise questions about his viability as a candidate, or if the community would come around. They do quote Congresswoman Gwen Moore in the end of the story, who said that she will never forgive the I want to make sure I got it right. She will never forgive the Senate Democrats campaign committee at the federal level because they didn't invest enough in his race. They prioritized other races. And she said, I will forever be disappointed. That's what she said, not forgive, but I'll forever be disappointed in them. So you got this whole piece. Social media, people started weighing in, and it was notable that Mandela trailed 50,000 votes behind Tony Evers across the board. So there were people that voted for Evers that did not vote for Mandela. In Milwaukee, Evers outperformed Mandela within the Black community. And I'm not going to, in my opinion, beat a dead horse, but I'll say a couple of quick things. Number one, when I spoke with this reporter, he asked the question, did I think that Mandela should not get in the race, that Mandela shouldn't run? One of the things that I told that reporter, I said, I'm not going to ever tell anybody they shouldn't run for office. That's not my job. That's not my role, unless you just some god awful, individual. Everybody has the right to run for office. What I said, though, is whether that's wise or not is two different things. Should you run? Is it wise to run? Two different things for me. He has the right to do whatever he wants to do. I do think that he needs to read the room, though. I think that, there may be outside money that will pour into this race, because money is going to be the factor. I said this to candidate Kelda Royce when I saw her at the Freedom Fund dinner. It is that just like that state Supreme Court race was a fool in terms of money, this Wisconsin governor's race, it will be interesting to see where the money comes. And there are people that believe that there's a lot of outside money that will come in to support Mandela. We have been hearing rumors that he had already about $1 million from outside supporters. I don't know. But what I do know is that he will have a difficult time overcoming some of the perceptions that he currently is facing. And do you mess up your political capital by losing potentially another race? Because now you seal your fate for anything else you may want to do down the road. You asking people to choose between you and David Crawley. I've said it again, I've said it before, I'll say it again. While I know there are any number of people that like Mandela because they know him personally, they've watched his story. When you lay these resumes now side by side, David Crawley's resume stacks up differently because you've actually run a municipality. You actually have budgetary experience. You actually know what it means to go in and negotiate on both sides of the aisle and walk away with something in hand. So I got to end the show. I'll, probably touch on this again next week, but I just want to be clear. I don't have a dog in this fight. I don't, I'm not endorsing anybody. I'm not on anybody's team. I'm not doing that. But one of the things I will say, I saw Mandela at the Freedom Fund dinner. It's the first time he and I spoke in years. What I will say is that Mandela, you a young brother. You're only 38. You have all kinds of options. Be strategic about what you do. Because if you get the label of a serial candidate and somebody who can't close the deal, then you will end your political career. Be strategic about what you do. And you need to be listening to all kinds of people, not just some of the same people, and certain groups who have their own personal agendas in moving you out front. You messed up when you listened to them white girls, Sandy Pashnam, to tell you to take out Lena Taylor. That was the beginning of the end as far as I'm concerned, because that showed me you're not thinking properly for yourself. Young brother, think for yourself. Talk to people in the community and not just white political advisors who have other agendas and will use you to execute their agendas. That's the wrap. That's the show for today. Family, I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Peace.